Welcome to another episode of my podcast on effective teamwork agility pills. Today we're going to talk about the limiting work in progress in Kanban method. Imagine an office. There are piles of papers on every desk, laptops with dozens of tabs open, and a slight sense of chaos in the air. Everyone is doing something, but no one is finishing anything. Sound familiar? This is a typical image of the lack of work in progress, WIP, limits, a nightmare for many teams, especially those trying to implement Agile. As an Agile coach, I've seen this hundreds of times and I can say with certainty that the lack of WIP limits is a sure path to frustration, delays, and a drop in quality. I remember a team of programmers who were working on a new mobile app. They were incredibly committed, everyone wanted to put their 2 cents in, which resulted in them working on a dozen or so features at the same time. The result? None of them were ready on time, and the stress level in the team reached its peak. This is a classic example of drilling down many things at once, which ultimately leads to doing nothing. It's a bit like trying to juggle 10 balls at once, sooner or later they all fall to the ground. The lack of a WIP, work in progress, limit has a devastating effect on workflow. Instead of a smooth stream, we are dealing with bottlenecks, downtime, and constant putting out fires. Imagine a highway with an unlimited number of cars entering. What happens? It gets jammed. The exact same thing happens to work when we don't control its amount. Instead of focusing on completing one task and passing it on, the team spreads out across many fronts, which increases the time it takes to complete each of them. Starting many tasks at once has a number of negative effects. First of all, it reduces productivity. Switching between tasks takes time and energy, and our brains are not designed for it. It's like constantly switching between channels on TV. Instead of focusing on one program, we watch fragments of many, not fully understanding anything. As a result, we waste time and energy, and the effects of our work are mediocre. Another negative effect is a decrease in quality. When we are distracted, it is harder for us to focus on details and avoid mistakes. It is a bit like writing an important email while answering phone calls and replying to messages. The probability of typos and mistakes increases drastically. As a result, we have to spend more time on corrections and tests, which additionally extends the time to complete the task. Lack of WIP limitation also leads to increased stress and frustration. The constant feeling of unfinished business and time pressure negatively affect our well-being and motivation. It is a bit like carrying a heavy backpack on your back, which becomes heavier with each passing day. In the end, we feel exhausted and demotivated. Not limiting work in progress is a surefire path to chaos and frustration. Introducing WIP limits allows the team to focus on what's most important, increase productivity, improve quality, and reduce stress. It's an investment that brings tangible benefits and allows you to succeed in the dynamic world of Agile. It's not about doing less, but doing smarter. I remember a story from another team that had trouble delivering projects on time. After introducing WIP limits, they were initially skeptical. How come? We're supposed to do less, they asked. However, after a few weeks, they noticed a significant improvement. They started completing tasks faster, the quality of their work increased, and the atmosphere in the team became much better. They understood that less is more. In Agile, where flexibility and speed of response to changes matter, limiting WIP is key. It allows the team to focus on priorities, maintain a smooth workflow, and deliver value to the customer in an efficient and predictable way. It's a bit like managing traffic on a highway. Appropriate entry limits help avoid traffic jams and ensure smooth traffic. Alexander Koska Agile Institute.